Hey guys, it's Jeremy again, and in today's video I'm going to be doing something I have never done on this channel before, and I will be doing my very first ever TV show series review. As the title says, this is a TV show discussion on Avatar: The Last Airbender. And since I didn't read a book this week, I still wanted to do and give you guys a video this week. I don't know if I'll be able to do that every week, but this next month is going to be insane at my job, so I thought I would do something really fun, and I love talking about this show to just about anybody, so I thought I would share it with you guys. You guys know how much I love it as well, and I'm going to talk about it. I'm not going to go within each season and go, this is this plot and this is what this happens. I'm basically going to give you the very rough premise, what I thought of certain characters, and what I thought of certain elements of the show, and just to tell you that I think that you guys should check it out if you haven't already. This series has been out for a long time. It began in 2005 and ended in 2008, so it's been around a long time. 9 years to be exact. It's been up and around, so that's a long time for a show to be started and finished and things. So there are 3 seasons / books. The show is, instead of their shows being called seasons and their episodes being called episodes, they're called books, and their episodes are called chapters. So we have book 1 is water, book 2 is earth, and book 3 is fire. And I really like the DVD covers to these. They're really, really cool. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a background on the world of Avatar: The Last Airbender before I jump right into the plot. In this world, there is this native, I guess I wouldn't call native, but there is this thing which is called bending. And what bending is people are gifted with the ability, I guess you could say, to bend the 4 elements. And each set of people are divided into 4 different nations. We have the Air Nation, who can bend air, which is epic. Then we have Fire Nation, Earth Nation, and Water Nation, or the Water Tribe. So it's really, really interesting, and me personally, if you guys want to know, I would love to be an Earthbender. That would be awesome if this existed and I could do that. I would have so much fun. Oh my god, I would have so much fun with that. That would be awesome, like super epic. So that's a little bit of background, and now I'm going to dive into the plot a little bit and the premise of Avatar: The Last Airbender. I'm just going to show you the first one. This book, well, yeah, kind of, because it's the show. I'm so used to talking about books, so forgive me. But this show begins with one of our 2 main characters, Katara and Sokka. And they're just out and about, catching some fish, and a few things happen, and they meet the Avatar, and the Avatar is the only one that in existence that can master all 4 elements. It's not like a new thing. The Avatar has been around for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. In this show, we don't know exactly how long the Avatar has existed. It is just speculated that it's been around for ever since bending has been, I would guess. And in this, Aang has been frozen, which is the Avatar's name. His name is Aang. He's the last airbender, hence the name of the TV show. He's been frozen in this iceberg for over 100 years, and there has been a massive war lasting 100 years that has just been ripping the entire world apart, because the Fire Nation wants to dominate and control everybody. They view themselves as the superior element. They believe themselves to be the most powerful race of the nations, of all the nations, and basically they want to find the Avatar and keep him held captive. That way nobody in the entire world has the power to stop the Fire Nation to achieving their goal, which is basically take over the entire world. And Aang is only a 12-year-old boy, and this is definitely a children's type show, but you don't have to be a kid to watch it. I think anybody can pick up this show, watch it, and very much enjoy it. And I feel like another thing I want to mention is this is not just, actually, I'm going to hold off and I'll wait to tell that in just a little bit. But basically, things happen. Again, I'm trying to keep this non-spoiler. And basically, Aang talks to his previous past life, which the Avatar, which his name is Avatar Roku, and he basically tells Aang that he has to master all 4 elements before Sozin's comet comes at the end of summer, and if he doesn't, then Fire Lord Ozai, which is the new Fire Lord of the Fire Nation, will use the power of the comet to destroy the world, because Fire Lord Sozin used the comet to begin the war, and Fire Lord Ozai wants to use the comet to finish the war and dominate the entire world, basically. And so after that, Aang, Sokka, and Katara go on this huge adventure quest to help to teach Aang the elements. Katara gets to learn how to waterbend from a master, and so does Aang, and a lot of miscellaneous things happen, and a lot of really funny quirkiness happens in this book, in particularly this season/book, and it is fantastic. I highly recommend Book 1, Water, to everybody. Now I'm going to go a little bit into Book 2, kind of a little mini reviews, I guess. This is the second season/book of Avatar, which is Earth. This is the Earth book. This is the book where this basically starts off, and Aang and Katara and Sokka have left the Northern Water Tribe, and they are now on a hunt to try to find Aang an earthbending teacher, since he has somewhat mastered waterbending. And with this, we actually get some new characters. We meet Azula, who is Zuko's sister, which I forgot to mention him. He is like one of the main he's one of our main enemies of Book 1. He's been banished from the Fire Nation, and he has given the goal from his father, or the Fire Nation in general, to find the Avatar and capture him to regain his honor. So he's on a quest as well as Aang, and their kind of both quests kind of clash, and it gets into all kinds of really interesting situations and a lot of really entertaining moments between all of our characters. I really enjoyed this book. It's probably my favorite of the 3. Maybe. It's really hard. Book 2 and 3 are so close to one another, but I think after watching this one so many times over the years, this one has definitely made it onto my list of favorites, because we have Azula, which she's an enemy, and she's ugly. Well, not ugly, she's actually pretty decent for a animated character, but she's also really, really strong. She doesn't hold back. She doesn't make excuses for herself like Zuko does. She doesn't. She's all full force, and she will do anything it takes to please her father, basically. And we also meet a new character, Toph Beifong, which becomes Aang's earthbending teacher, and one of my favorite characters in the entire Avatar universe. She is fantastic. She's a 13-year-old girl, I believe, 13, 12, she's like 12, 13, I'm not too sure exactly how old she is in this season, but she is awesome. She's blind, and so she basically sees with her feet, and what they call, in the Avatar around people world, it's not in the show, but in the fan base, they call it semi-sense, and what that is being able to use and being able to tap into the vibrations in the earth, and you can basically see where everything is. So that's how Toph is able to see. Even though she was born blind, she uses earthbending to see, and I thought that was so cool to learn about in this. And She's awesome. She is the most talented, kick-ass female character in this show, and she was awesome. So eventually Aang does learn to earthbend, and we also get to meet the Earth Kingdom capital, Ba Sing Se, and a lot of really crazy conspiracy happens, and a lot of things I never thought was going to happen happened, and we really get to see all of our characters grow and evolve in this second story, and it was fantastic. Zuko immensely is changing into a character that is fascinating. He's learning, do I want to be this person? Do I want to be this bad guy? You know, he still has those blind sides where he still wants Aang, he still wants to capture the Avatar, but it's not as this mission, it's not so hardcore as it was in the first book, so there's change going on in Zuko, which is nice to see, and he has become a fugitive, and so along with his uncle Iroh, it's just fantastic. And the ending of this book left me literally on the edge of my seat for days. And then with the final one, which is Book 3, Fire, and this is where all the craziness happens. This is where it all ends, basically. This picks up a couple of weeks after the end of Book 2, Earth, and this one, everybody, Sokka, Katara, Aang, Toph, and all the gang they are now in the enemy territory of the Fire Nation, because now Aang has now mastered Earth and water, and he is on a mission to learn how to he has to find a firebending teacher, which didn't really come into play in this until a lot later on in the season, which I was not expecting. I thought it was going to be really early on, kind of like with the first 2 books, but no, it was kind of a lot further away, and I was not expecting that. But with this one, we also get a new type of bending, metal bending, which was introduced at the very end of Book 2 with Toph was captured by these people that her father was like, hey, the Avatar stole my daughter, I'm going to pay you this money to find her and bring her home safely, because, yeah, he didn't know that she willingly left to be Aang's earthbending teacher. He thought that he kidnapped her, which, whatever. And so she being inside a metal cage, because they know how powerful and very intelligent Toph is, so they had no idea that she was such a advanced earthbending master at this point. I personally believe that she mastered earthbending at the age of 12, which is fantastic to already master an element so early. Being blind helped, though. And so metal bending is a part of Earth that has just been purified, so she was able to bend the Earth that resides in the metal, creating a new bending as metal bending. And that metal bending is not a huge impact of this show. That really, metal bending is a more prime bending skill of the next show called The Legend of Korra, which is another show about the next Avatar named Korra. But this book really delves into, we really get to know the heart and soul of the Fire Nation, what they stand for, what they believe in, why they believe that they're doing what they're doing. They believe that this is the right thing to do. Fire Lord Ozai and Azula are twisted fucks, and they don't believe in that. They are really, really weird. But we really do, while being in the Fire Nation, we get to see all the darkness and shadow that is evolving in Fire Nation, because the element of fire is very dangerous, but we also get to learn that this is not just dangerous fire, that this is also life and light, and it's very beautiful, and it's amazing to see things that we never saw in the first 2 books. It was fantastic. I love that we got to know Zuko so well, because he did a complete 180 with the show. Because when I very first saw the first season for the very first time, I really didn't like him. I I didn't like him, and he completely changed from that character that we knew him in season 1. His journey is just as amazing as Aang's journey, and Sokka's and Toph's and Katara's. Everybody grew as characters, and everybody grew to be this amazing thing. And sorry, that was my computer beeping. And they just grew to be so fantastic, and I cared so much about them. I didn't think I could care for characters as much as I care about these characters in this show. I think this show will be one of my favorites for the rest of my life. I will always pick up these seasons, and I will always put them in my DVD player and watch them all the time. These characters and these stories will stick with me forever because they have so many life lessons in here, and what it means to be a good person, what it means to be a bad person. Can you change? Can anybody make that second chance in life? Or are you doomed to live with your mistakes, and are you forced into this kind of repetitive lifestyle that you have for yourself? You know, it kind of puts things to mind that even though you've made these mistakes, you can still come out of it. You can be a better person. Anybody can be a better person. Just because you're a bad person doesn't mean you can't be a good person, and that goes both ways. Just because you're a good person does not mean you cannot become a bad person. It's kind of like that coin metaphor, two sides of the same coin kind of thing, and I thoroughly loved the entire idea behind this show. It was fantastic. Excuse me. And yeah, I don't want to say too much more because I don't want to give anything away, but I highly recommend you to check out Avatar: The Last Airbender. I do, in fact, have the first 2 seasons of The Legend of Korra, but but there's going to be 4 seasons total. Only the first 2 are out. Book 3 comes out in December, I believe, and book 4 will be out sometime next year. So when all of them are out, I will of course review them for you guys as well. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope I said enough that you'll want to go check it out. Like I said, it's one of my personal favorites. I absolutely loved it. I gave all 3 seasons 5 stars, and I hope you check it out. It's, like I said, it's one of my favorites. Well, I'm gonna go, and I will see you guys next week with a new video. Bye.